This happened several years ago, back in February of 2001. My friend, who I will call Jake for privacy reasons, invited me on a long weekend trip to a remote cabin that his uncle owned in northern Saskatchewan, and I agreed to join him. We drove the long 6 hours from my house to get there. Let me give you a brief layout of the grounds before we continue. It was a small, single-story, ranch-style cabin with a kitchen, 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, and a living room. There was no electricity or running water, and it was surrounded by forest on all sides. The only way in or out was down a long, unpaved driveway. We arrived at the cabin around dusk. The next day, Jake and I walked around the forest to search for some firewood, and about an hour into the walk, Jake spotted an abandoned house in the distance. It was nestled among a group of trees, which was rather strange since we were in the middle of northern Saskatchewan, with civilization miles away. Jake wanted to check out the house out of curiosity, and although I was hesitant to go inside, I reluctantly joined him. We entered through a boarded-up window. Once inside, we were greeted with a musty smell. As we roamed around, I noticed a door leading to the basement. Curiosity got the better of me, and against my better judgment, I opened the door and slowly made my way down the steps. Once I reached the bottom, I froze. There were dimly lit candles in a circular pattern, as if someone was performing some kind of satanic ritual. I pointed our flashlight across the basement to see if someone was hiding, but no one was there. After doing some exploring, I discovered an empty alcove behind the stairs. As I made my way back to the steps, I saw something out of the corner of my eye. Under the stairs, which had been cleared just moments before, there was a black figure staring directly at me. It looked to be at least 8 feet tall, and once I saw its eyes, I knew I was in the presence of something inhuman. A pair of glowing red eyes stared back at me, full of hatred and malice. I then heard a low, repulsive growling, and without hesitation, I bolted up the stairs. Jake was still exploring the empty dining room and heard me coming up the stairs. We quickly left through the same way we entered. However, our story does not end there. When we finally returned to the cabin, I told Jake everything about what I had seen, and to my surprise, he believed me. We decided to put the whole thing behind us and get some rest. I suddenly woke up and checked the time on my watch. It was 2:17 a.m. Things were dark and quiet, but I felt that something was amiss. After a while, I heard subtle footsteps outside the bedroom door. This was also when Jake woke up. I told him to be quiet and listen. The footsteps became louder, and I got up from my bed and made my way over to the bedroom door. I then cracked it to see what was outside. Chills went through my body as I saw an intruder in the cabin, in the far corner of the living room. But it was not human. It was that same creature I had seen in the basement of the abandoned house. The moonlight did not provide adequate illumination, but I saw the disturbing form twist its head until its red eyes were looking back at the bedroom door, seemingly at me. I slammed the door shut, locking it in a panic. We both fled the cabin through the bedroom window, leaving all of our belongings behind. As we ran toward Jake's truck, we both heard a loud, ear-piercing scream. We frantically started the truck and floored it out of there. We remained silent the whole way home, not saying a word about what we saw. It's been nearly 20 years since this event, and Jake and I are still friends to this day. But we never returned to his uncle's cabin. I don't know if what we saw that night was some kind of paranormal entity or an unknown creature living in the woods, but I don't plan nor care to find out.